students. I hope you can hear and see me well. Today we're going to have a lecture review of a lecture that we have covered on the week 11. So the course name is Service Logistics, and I'm the lecturer, Dr. Jansik. The topic of this lecture is information logistics in service industries. Besides information logistics, we're going to talk about IT solutions that are used particularly in restaurants. So this lecture should be quite informative and interesting. Due to the time limitations, we're not going to cover the overview of the previous lectures. We're going to go straight into the new lecture. And at the end of the lecture, I'm going to give you your assignment. So let's start the lecture. Basically, today we're going to talk about, again, logistics, a flow of information, and how we can deal with that. So what is information logistics? Basically, information logistics is the branch of logistics which studies the flow of information between human and machine actors within or between any number of organizations that inform a value-creating network. Basically, when we talk about service logistics, and depending on the course, we're going to talk about information flow within the organization. But before, let's mention two meanings, of the term, of the concept information logistics. So basically, it can mean two different things. When we talk about information logistics, it can mean managing and controlling information handling process, and it also can mean using information technology to optimize logistics. So here we have two distinct terms that may confuse us when we Google search or try to read information online. That is something we should bear in mind. Basically, when we talk about information, the goal of information logistics is to deliver the right product consisting of the right information element. When we talk about information, we should talk about information product. Basically, that is something ready to consume. For example, if the information was designed to give some, data to make a decision for the decision maker. In our case, it can be a top manager or management. We should have all the available information and all the necessary information to make the decision. And those necessary information, we call them elements. Basically, we should get all the elements, and we should get enough elements. So the information, kind of the data that is not related to each other, has a meaning, and it can be consumed by the decision maker, or basically by the consumer whom that information is designed. For example, in restaurant, we can talk about KOT, so-called kitchen order ticketing, or kitchen order ticket. That is something, this is basically the information that was designed for the kitchen. So we should have all the elements on it, so the kitchen will not get confused. We have methods of information logistics. It could include analysis of demand, information storage, optimization of the information flow, technological and organizational flexibility, integrated information, and billing solutions. By the way, billing solutions is part of information logistics too. Even though we have another branch of logistics, which is called finance logistics, which studies flow of finances, but still the billing itself is an information, and that is why information logistics covers that too. As you remember, when we talk about logistics, we usually talk about like flow of product, which is like direct, from like inbound logistics to production, from production to outbound logistics, and I mean like from the supply to the customer through production. And when we talk about information flow, we talk about reverse logistics. So basically, it does not start from the raw material from supply and through delivering a good of value to the customer. Information flow has like reverse pattern. So it starts with an order of the customer and ends through like delivering the data to the production line and to the storage, of course, and to the market of supplies. When we talk about information in, for example, restaurants, it can include the order of our guests, basically something which is here. And this order can be complex or quite simple, depending on the like product. Yeah, in our case, food. So in restaurants, in full course diners, we have at least starter, appetizers, dishes, yeah, which include main dish, side dish, and we have a dessert. That is why the order and the information that should be kind of distributed is, I mean, it can be very simple or very complex depending on the number of courses. We're going to talk about that a bit later. The information kind of flows between like departments, like structural departments of restaurant, hotel, for example. We have management who consumes the information. We have accounting, basically who does billing and who makes like reports to tax authorities. We have dining area where the order is made. We have kitchen, which should prepare it. And we have the flow between these main structural departments. Within, for example, kitchen, we have a lot of staff. We have like chef supervisor, we have sous chefs, we have executive chefs, we have line cooks, we have pastry chef, we have a lot of helpers, a lot of workers, etc. That is why the information that just enters the kitchen should be distributed in the right way to all the cooks and all the kitchen stuff. That is the same to the dining area stuff. When we talk about dining area, we do not just talk about head waiters and the waiters. We also talk about kind of stuff that is responsible for delivering beverages. For example, in the places that serve wine, we have sommeliers, we have bartenders, we have baristas, and the others. That is why the information should be distributed to them too. Also, we have dishwashers, we have bussers, and we have basically cleaners who do clean that. So the information should be gathered by the waiter, and it should be properly distributed, not just between like kitchen staff, but also between the like dining area staff. So let's get back to the course composition. As I mentioned, it can be simple or complex. So a simple course is going to consist of one course meal, and the complex one can consist of 6 course meals. And depending on that, we will require not just one, but maybe several servers, and the preparation of the food can require a lot of like kitchen stuff. And as you can imagine, this flow of information and this flow of kind of distribution of responsibilities should be mentioned and should be designed from the beginning. And of course, the type of service will have its own effect too. When it comes to the information flow at a restaurant, basically we should know that when the guest makes an order, the order that was taken by, for example, by the waiter should be not just be taken, but also should be like transformed. So the waiter is going to receive the order, then that order should be transformed, and it should be transformed for the kitchen. Basically, it should be written or sent to the kitchen, and the order that was transformed for the kitchen is called ticket, or we call it KOT, kitchen order ticket. So it goes to the kitchen. Also the information, the order that was received should be transformed for the billing, for the accountant. So we can like prepare the receipt at the end of the day. And of course, from the kitchen, we have the service operations that should be done, and etc. So basically, we have the information like input, which is an order, and we have the output, which is going to be like service, server, and of course the receipt, and etc. Beside that, we have like storages, we have supplies, and etc. So this is what we can imagine from the side of the dining area, and how the flow of work is done. But also we have the back office, we have supplies, and we have like the other intermediaries that help us to conduct our main job. So that is why we have kind of a bit extended like flow. We have the guest, we have the kitchen, and we have the supplier. So we have the order, we receive and transform that, then we send it to the kitchen, the ready food goes to the guest. Then we have to have at least 2 files. The first one is like we update the sold file. So we have like goods sold file, so we know what we have sold. Then we should have a file that is going to be done by the kitchen. Yeah, basically we have we update the inventory file, what we have in the storage. Then we prepare the inventory file. Then of course we're going to kind of correlate these 2 files in the like management report. Then that report is going to be presented to the restaurant manager, executive, or the owner. And depending on that, the restaurant manager is going to kind of order some supplies from the supplier. So basically, the diner, the waiters are going to have a special report on goods sold, and the kitchen is going to focus on the inventory. Then we can see how much, for example, ingredients were spent on one good, how much was, for example, spoiled, rotten, for example, some goods, and etc. Then we're going to see how much supplies we need to get. Beside the like flow, which is done here, yeah, we also have the accounting, we have the coordination, yeah, and we have the payment. So that is why we have different IT solutions. So we have IT solutions for ordering, we have IT solutions for ticketing, and we have IT solutions for paying. Here in like white, we can see the classic or traditional kind of ways of conducting things. Order is taken like face-to-face. On one side, we have the guest. On the other side, we have the waiter, and we take the order. Then we have the kitchen. In the kitchen, we have just a printer, which prints all the orders. Then we print the receipt, and we take cash and put that cash into a drawer. When it comes to the IT solutions, we have several IT solutions. For example, we have touchscreen point of sale, we have handheld point of sale, we have self-order kiosks, that is in regards to the ordering. And in regards to ticketing, we have kitchen display screens without, like, where we can see all the information without printing it. Then when it comes to paying, we can have like contactless payment. So handheld point of sale looks like that. So we have a portable POS system that can be transformed from one place to the other, and we can carry it on, and we can do like ordering and paying without like further disruption of the process. Yeah, it's going to be done simultaneously without moving around and walking in the base. So it's going to help us to foster the work, and also it's going to help us to raise the quality of service. Kitchen display screens can not just display the orders, but also they can have like timing, the order of like service, and etc. So we can add some additional IT solutions that will help us to encourage the like production of the quality service and doing everything in timely manner. When it comes to like printed tickets, they may get lost, they may get wet, and also we can forget about the order of how we should cook something. When we have kitchen displays, they can automatically sort the orders, so we can see which order should be done in the first place. And of course, contactless payments, they are all about payments that are done without like any contact. Yeah, so we can do a payment without cash, which is quite like convenient for people, so we don't have to carry a lot of cash, but also it can be very helpful in the age of corona crisis, in the age of pandemic. So the guests will not have too much contact, yeah, so they can feel safe. That is basically it about the lecture, and now I'd like to give you your assignment. So the first assignment is to define the concept of information logistics. Then I want you to describe the information flow in a restaurant. We actually covered that. The next one is to describe the information flow in a hotel. I hope you're going to do that at home, and then we're going to discuss it in the next lesson. Yep, and the final assignment is to choose an IT solution, software and hardware, that optimize workflow in a restaurant or hotel, and then present it so we can have a presentation. Thank you for listening. It was my pleasure, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.